to you.
How old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you now?
Hello, ubani wena? Hamba ngemoto kamnyeni wami. Uzugqoke neshirt like.
Cabanga ukuthi uyagwena, I own you. Wena lo under yathengwa yimi.
Good day everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the G Suits Lover and I am Lover. And today we're talking adulting episode 5 and 6. I will always come with each episode every week and the rest, but this time around I was not able to release, to drop the episode 5 because I had a lot I'm dealing with, which is like classes, and last week of Ramadan was not very good on me. I was a bit down, so it was so bad, but it is what it is. We are back to business, and episode 5 and 6 is one interesting episode, but tragic. Episode 5 and 6 is very tragic because for episode 5 we actually did saw Natasha. She died, and her death was so painful. In as much as Natasha has actually been a very, will I say, annoying character from the very first episode. Natasha has been annoying. She has been on and on with this sensation of not wanting Tikitiki to have the child in his custody and the rest. And it's just so bad that she died along the way, and it's just so annoying the way she died. But you guys know the way I do this conversation about adulting. I take the characters and just talk about them and what's their story for these episodes which I'll be discussing. But before we go into this conversation, please subscribe to this YouTube channel because the gist never ends with Lover. So let's start for today. The very first person I'm talking about is Bonga. Bonga's story from the very first episode is that an alpha male is not ready to fall into for any lady and the rest. But now is like the guy is down and he's ready. But it's actually very wonderful how because I was predicting that these two people are having to understand that the two of them do not want relationship and the rest. They just want to have interesting moments and the rest. I feel like their relationship might not work out, or along the line they're going to have one of the most beautiful relationship for this season for the show. But it's interesting that it's the other way around. The two of them had this relationship and they're now dating, and it seemed beautiful that they are getting so much along. However, for episode 5, he followed her to one of the events which she hosted, and he was angry with the boss, and other of her colleagues are into her touching and the rest. But I think it's just normal thing which people will always be jealous about, and they just want to have their lover or people, their partner or people they are in love with, all to themselves. So it's an interesting one. Then for the episode 6, she had to meet his friends, and she's been judging them and the rest. She was talking about how Tikitiki's mama Natasha died from these people who hijacked cars, and she was just so angry and the rest and ranting about everything. But Bonga knows that Tikitiki, who is a friend, is someone who does this same thing. So who is his friend? Is someone who does the same thing. So it's just so crazy how everything is. And on the episode 6, she was able to meet his friends, and it's not a good one because while she attended this event which Vuyani hosted, she found out that Vuyani is into a sugar mommy who is old enough to be his mother, and she was ranting on and on. And I don't know if probably this conversation I had, which one of my friends were having, how probably when guys start dating, their girlfriends will always tell them things which probably we want to break the friendship they have with their guys. And I'm now seeing something like this in the life of this character, that's Bonga, the girlfriend, and the dynamic he have with this friend, because now she's judging them and she wants to make him feel bad for the type of friends he's keeping and to an extent she wants him to stay away from them. And this is really been this is an issue, and to be a very tight situation for Bonga if he will have to just pick his friends or this lady, or you have to just make these two people understand these people, this is what they do. I understand them for this, and try to make her understand them too, and she should stop judging them. So that's for Bonga for this episode. There's not so much for Bonga for these 2 episodes which I've seen. There's not so much for Bonga. Then the next character is Fiyani, and Vuyani is just so crazy what's happening with Vuyani because it's just the sugar mommy and also him having these ladies around. She got him a car, and before I was feeling like, oh, Vuyani should be able to have his own ground. Like he should be able to be like, this is what I want. This is how I want to deal with my life and everything. And he should not like kind of make his life all around her. But it's funny Vuyani had been able to, will I say, liberate himself this episode 6. Like it's giving freedom because it's crazy how everything about his life is just this woman. She controls his life. She wants like whenever she wants him, he has to be there and everything like that. So it's just so crazy how it is. But the turnout of the event was so crazy how he was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and you can always just go with your clothes and everything. The very first episode, or the first 2 episodes, we saw how she was so mad at him that he did not pick her call, and she threw a glass of wine at him and something like that. And this woman is like, she's violent, like she does crazy things. She's just someone who all she cares for is herself and the rest like that. And Vuyani was into this new student which he met, and he even collected money from her to host party for this lady. I don't know how crazy that could be. Having done that, she found out and she was very angry. Then she went to the party and took him home, beat the hell out of him. And it's just so funny how after doing all of that, all she could think of is getting him a clothes, the designer wears and the rest. I was so angry when he was like, yes, he wants them. I feel like after all of this humiliation this man has done, all you care for is designers. But I think it's a thing of priority. Like he cares so much about those things. He wants those flashy things. He wants to live big, and he doesn't want to work for it. So I feel that's like the is it the cost, or is it what he will pay for having to live that life when it does, like when he does not want to work to get those Tikitiki. I think Tikitiki's story is one interesting story from this series. It actually just puts you in a tight situation where you cannot actually judge someone like this person is bad, or probably you can always see good in bad people. I don't know. Tikitiki's story gives the idea of repentance, self-discovery, a lot, because to an extent I still take it, and I feel having been seeing the film, and whenever I see comments online and the rest, people are always more into Tikitiki. They find him as a better character. They find him as someone who is truly going through adulting and self-discovery and all of that, and finding is who he is and trying to know what it needs to prioritize. I so much like Tikitiki on how it was so intentional with his child and everything, and it's just so crazy. So for this last episode now, the last 2 episodes, which are episode 5 and episode 6, Tikitiki went back to car hijacking, or he has been doing this, and his friends don't want him to keep up with this. But after he was arrested and the rest and getting out of the prison, he needed to pay this guy a good, not like a large sum of money, and in a bit to get the money, he had to go back to these shady businesses into. But upon going back and wanting to gather the money which he used to pay off this debt he went back to car hijacking. He had to hijack a car which had his daughter, and the daughter could identify that yes, this is her father. It's just so crazy how that episode turned out, and how Natasha came around and giving reason why she had been on and on with the fact that she does not want Tikitiki to have the child under his possession. She was like, she's just into this man because of his money, and she just wants a better life for herself and her child, which is what had made her go into which had made her got herself into this partner she is into. It's not that she's there for love and the rest. I think that conversation now makes us understand Natasha, her pain and everything, and how she feels. And a good number of persons who will be in a situation like Natasha will actually do the same thing, because everybody wants the best for their child. So and she feels like the best is like the best is what she could get from this partner she's into now. it's just so crazy. Then you know Tikitiki felt bad that he has to go hijack her and his child have to and find out that see him doing such thing and the rest. Then the death of the wife, how he felt so bad about it. Going back to car hijacking and finding out that this thing he's doing is what has actually led to the death of Natasha. And I think at that point he realized that no, he's not going to go back to this anymore. Like he just wants to come clean and do clean business and the rest. And it's crazy, or will I say it's nice that he had been able to realize like he has to do something good. He has to get himself out of crime and all of that, and kind of prioritize his family. You know, yeah, and he has been a family person all along, and it's so hard to see someone who seems irresponsible to be very responsible to his family. I don't know if that seems ironical to an extent. So that's that for Tiki Tiki. I did enjoy his story and it's a very wonderful one. So the last person is Umpo. Umpo the married man, like from last the episode 5 when he hosted the party for his wife, seeing how Fidile, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, the side chick, how she went on with the birthday, ensuring he hosts the birthday party and best. I feel she's into something, and I feel like she will do something shady. She will do something crazy with all of this which she's doing, which just happened like this episode 6, and seeing how she drove and went on to the wife and tell her she had been sleeping with the man at the rest. It's just so crazy, and I felt like I actually created something, and for that episode 5 when the husband, as Mpo, gave that bag which she got the wife. That's the side chick got the wife a bag while she was like unboxing the gift which was given. So I felt like probably something crazy will be in that bag. I don't know if it was just in my head. I was just thinking probably when she opened the bag, she might just see probably pictures of Mpo and the side chick and like the side chick while they were loving up and things like that. Like I just felt I was just so scared for him because I know that woman. She like there's nothing good. Like she has evil plan for Mpo and the wife. So it's crazy, and that is it. And now she already know that this man is into these trashy things and he has been lying. But now we don't know how she wants to address this issue. If she actually address it well and make her husband understand that he's been doing all of this trash outside. So this is all. This is all I'll be saying for adulting episode 5 and 6. Bye for now.